Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our weekly webinar series brought to you by immigrationquestion.com, your trusted platform for real time immigration insight, legal information, and meaningful conversations. My name is Anusya Mukherjee, and I'm excited to be your host for today. If you're a foreign professional working in the US, chances are you've already thought about what's coming next for you after your H-1B. Is it time to transition to a green card? Which category should you aim for? And how do you avoid running into gaps, backlogs, or visa issues that could derail your plans? That's why today's topic, H-1B versus EB green cards. Understanding the long term immigration strategy is one you don't want to miss. To help guide us through this conversation, we're joined today by attorney Ibrahim Caglar, founding attorney of Caglar and Associates, an immigration law firm based in New York. Attorney Caglar holds a master's of law degree from West Forest University and has helped countless individuals and businesses navigate through the US immigration system. He is known for his practical approach, clear communication, and he brings a thoughtful and strategic perspective to every case. Everyone, welcome with me, Attorney Ibrahim Caglar. You're welcome, Attorney Caglar. We're
Thank you so
thrilled
much.
to have you here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. To our audience watching live, grab your notepad and get your questions ready. This promises to be an interesting session. Now let's start with the basics. Attorney Caglar, how does the H-1B fit into the long-term strategy for staying in the US? What should professionals keep in mind from day one?
Um, so H-1B is a visa type that is for skilled workers in the United States, and that is for professionals. And this is a great way to stay in the United States for the long term. It's because it's first of all, it's a great visa type because it allows applicants, it allows visa holders to have dual intent. And I want to note this. This is very important for H-1B visa applicants because dual intent allows you to apply for green card while you are having the H-1B visa, and you're at the same time you're not risking your visa, but you're also applying for a green card that might be EB1 or EB2, any employment-based green card, or even family-based green card. So that it's one of my favorite visas that is available to professionals. It's because it's dual intent. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Can you give us a clear breakdown of the different employment based green card categories, like the EB1, EB2, and EB3, and who fits into this group?
Okay. Yes, that's a great question. Thank you. So first of all, I want to start saying this. EB is short for employment based. So employment based green card categories usually there are like EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, and EB5. There are five categories, but there are also subcategories under this. So EB1, EB1A, EB1B, EB1C. I'll tell you all what they mean and who can be qualified for these visa types. So EB1 is very high standard, but if you qualify for EB1, it's one of the easiest way to get a green card and be a lawful permanent resident in the United States. And to be able to do this, you have to be on top of on 1 or 2% of in your field, and it's called, and the visa called as the extraordinary ability visa. But just keep in mind that there is another visa type that is called O1. So there are different type of visas because O1 is not a green card visa. It might be, but EB1 is EB1A, extraordinary ability visa. Will be You will be able to apply to a green card directly if you have approved I-140 under EB1A. So that is great. Another advantage of EB1A is you don't have to have a sponsor. So you don't have to go through the perm process. So you that is very very good advantage for EB1 applicants. So the next EB1 category is EB1B. That is a visa type for outstanding professors and researchers. Um, the you don't have to go through the perm process. That is great. Um, just before I forget, I want to mention this too. So in every visa type, there is a visa bulletin that you have to be always checking. So I want to talk about this just a little bit. Is that okay?
Sure, sure. Go ahead.
So because it is important
Mhm.
and it's a little bit technical. So visa bulletin is a chart that shows dates that you can adjust your status in the United States.
Mhm.
What that means for you is there are two dates that are important, right? The priority date, and you have to check that priority date um, on the chart if it is current. If it is current, it means that you can adjust your status. If you're in the United States, that means that you can file for I-485 adjustment of status. That is the green card application. If you are not in the United States, that means that you can apply through the consular processing. You can apply to get a visa to come to the United States as a lawful permanent resident.
Mhm.
So, and for EB1A, it's right
Mhm.
now current, except I think India. I think it was February 22nd to February 2022. But again, that is the fastest, one of the fastest way, I would say, after the family-based green card is like if you have an immediate relative in the United States, which is under the immigration law, is going to be either your U.S. citizen spouse or your U.S. citizen father, mother. So if not, that is one of the fastest way to get a green card in the United States. For EB1B, I think it's the same as EB1A. I just say this because Visa Bulletin is published every month, and you have to check every month. It changes. Sometimes it doesn't, but you still have to check if there are any changes. And the other EB1 category is the EB1C. That is for managers and executives.
Mhm.
Um, it's also a great way to stay here um, and to get in the green card through employment. And also for the visa bulletin, I think it's same as EB1A, so it's current for the most countries. Another category which was very popular for the last couple of years during the Biden administration was EB2. There are two categories under EB2: EB2 perm and also EB2 NIW. First, I want to talk. I know everyone, like a lot of people, are waiting for us to talk about EB2 NIW. So I want to start with that. So
Mhm.
EB2 NIW is NIW is short for National Interest Waiver, and I want to emphasize this because I've seen a lot of immigrants planning to apply for EB2 NIW without really understanding what it is. So national interest it's a requirement for EB2 and IW, and that means that you need to be working in United States, and the field that you're working is going to benefit the country's national interest. I'm going to give you an example just to make everything a little bit clear. So let's say you're working, you do have an advanced degree from a U.S. A college, you're working, you do have, it's very popular, right? Artificial
Mhm.
intelligence, you do have a master's degree, and you're
Mhm.
working in Meta or Amazon.
Mhm.
So if you are just working uh, in AI and only benefiting the company that you're working for, then
Mhm.
you'll not be able to be apply for EB2 and IW. But
Mhm.
if the project that you're working for, if the project that you're developing or being part of, right, is if it is going to benefit the national interest. So this is tricky because there is a gray area here that a lot of
Mhm.
people might qualify or might not, right? So I
Mhm.
think the attorney, and also, of course, with the help of you, you have to explain what you're doing, what you did, and what you will be doing.
Mhm.
Then you will, if you present your case to a CIS um, that shows that you're really benefiting the national interest, then you will be able to get EB2 and IW. And it's a great way because you don't have to go through the perm process. You don't need to have an employer. And it is wonderful.
Mhm.
Yes, I'm not sure if one more thing that I want to talk
Mhm.
about here is
Sure.
that when you're applying for employment-based categories, there are two applications actually. Basically,
Mhm.
you'll be doing not two, but most basic ones. The most
Mhm.
basic one is I-140 application. That is the
Mhm.
application that you are actually applying for that category, right? If you're doing
Mhm.
EB1, that is the application for EB1. If after that is approved, then you will be applying to a green card. That is the application I-485. There are separate
Mhm.
applications. If the visa bulletin is current, you might be able to concurrently send those applications together. If not, you have to wait after
Mhm.
your one I-140 is approved, then you have to wait your priority date to become current. And once that is current, you'll be able to send your 485 application. That is the green card application. Okay, now I want to talk about the EB2 perm. That is one of the safest ways, I would say, to get a green
Mhm.
card in the United States. The only downside is not only, but it takes time, and
Mhm.
you have to have an employer who's willing to sponsor you and go through the perm process with you.
Okay.
Yes. And should I go through the EB3, EB4, EB5?
It's
Just
totally up to it's
okay.
open to you. If you want to do like little summaries, you can go ahead.
Okay, I'll do the little summaries because I know that they will be getting questions too. So
Mhm.
EB3 is you there like there are two types. That either you have to have a bachelor degree or skilled or other workers.
Mhm.
The visa bulletin for this type of visa is I think is way behind, unfortunately, and perm is required, so you have to have an employer. EB4, not a lot of people are applying for EB4. Really, just workers or certain type special immigrants. And EB5 is for. I'm sure you heard about this Trump's golden visa,
Yes.
golden green card, right? So he's
Yes.
trying to
Yes.
replace this EB5. EB5 is an investor type of visa that
Mhm.
makes you, if you do that investment, you'll be able to apply for a green card.
Mhm.
And there are two investment amounts. It's
Mhm.
the first amount. There are some economic targeted areas that you can invest in, and it's
Mhm.
about I think $800,000 right now,
Mhm.
as of now. And if you invest that money in those areas, and
Mhm.
if that investment creates job like 10 US jobs, then you'll be
Mhm.
able to, you have to document everything, of course, and then you'll be able to
Mhm.
file for I-485 or apply through the consular process to get a green card. And the second type of investment is, I think it's $1,050,000. And if you do that investment, you can choose where to invest. And then that investment has to create 10 jobs, and you have to
Mhm.
document everything. Then you'll be able to apply for a green card. Um, yeah,
Okay.
okay, I think that was all. I tried to summarize everything as much as I can. I know there are a lot to talk. They're very detailed, but this was the
Mhm.
summary that I tried to do.
No, no worries. Thank you for that summary. That was very helpful. Now, let's talk about timing because that's something a lot of people get caught up on.
Yeah.
When should someone start applying for a green card? And how can they avoid gaps in the work authorization or falling out of status during this whole process?
Okay, that's a great question. I would say if you have a H-1B visa and you're working here, um, the earlier the better. You should be the
Mhm.
first year when you have the visa, you should be thinking about which employment-based green card option is the best fit for you, and you should be discussing that with your employer if they're going to sponsor you or not. And that's what I advise to my clients. Okay, the first year you have the H-1B, you've been selected.
Mhm.
Congratulations. Okay, I know you're happy now. This is great, and but you should be thinking about the next steps. So
Mhm.
that means for the first year means that you'll be thinking about, okay, if I want to stay in the United States
Mhm.
and get a green card, which EB one is going to be the best option for me, and if my employer is going to sponsor willing to sponsor me, or if
Mhm.
maybe you don't need a sponsor, so you should be thinking about uh, demonstrating your skills, documenting them,
Mhm.
and maybe you need to get a degree or something to be able
Mhm.
to file for maybe EB1A or EB2 perm NIW. So you have to be thinking about what the next steps in your first H-1B year. But the second year, I would say, or the third year, you should start the, your perm process.
Mhm.
Definitely, it's because it's gonna take time, and you might get an audit. This happened, that happened. Administration changes. Immigration it changes a lot. So you should be doing your application as soon as possible, and
Mhm.
I would say even when you are getting a job offer, you should be
Mhm.
in the job offer, you should be talking about, okay, if I get selected, would you be willing to sponsor me? Like, it's okay.
Mhm.
I think it's a good, you're being proactive, and you're thinking about your future, so it's good. And the latest I would say is that the fourth year you should be filed your I-140 application for your EB1 green card, and
Mhm.
waiting for your I-140 approval. The good thing about that is that you do have two options. The first option is regular processing. The second option is a premium processing. Some employers, if they're late, like at the end of the fifth year, and they have one more year, two more years, so they're thinking about, oh, we can do premium processing. That's
Mhm.
right. It's possible to do premium processing, but my suggestion is this. It's better, I think, to start with the regular processing early in the second year or third year. So you don't have to pay almost $3,000. I think it was like $2,805.
Mhm.
But that's subject to change. It might change next month or next year. So it's a
Mhm.
lot of money for a lot of immigrants. So you should file early with regular processing, and then later, if you're feeling pressured that you don't have time, you can always change it to premium processing and get a faster approval, or you always have that chance. For the avoiding gaps is the same strategy. If you start early, you'll be avoid the gaps. This is the most important things that I tell my clients and everybody that are planning to apply for a green card here, is that
Mm-hmm.
you have to avoid the gap. Especially, you cannot be out of status here. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot be unlawfully present here. Even I mean, even one day is risky.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to maintain your valid status until your green card application is filed and pending. The green
Okay.
card application is the I-485 application. So
Mm-hmm.
when you file the I-140 application, I-130 application, sorry, and
Mm-hmm.
that is not a status. That doesn't give you a protection, no umbrella there. So you have to have a valid status until you file your I-45 application. I just talked about this. There are two
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
applications for EB1s.
Exactly.
So yeah, and you have to document everything. You have to keep your pay stubs, W-2s that for that period that you will be working. So that is gonna be a documentation to prove that you were working and
Mm-hmm.
illegally working. And one more thing that I believe is important: if you
Mm-hmm.
are going to travel while your I-485 is pending,
Mm-hmm.
you have to get an advance parole uh, travel authorization from USCIS before you make any travel plans.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I think that leads perfectly into our next point, actually, which is what are some smart strategies professionals can use to stay on track, not just with the immigration paperwork, but with their careers too?
Yeah. So so this with the careers, I think that will depend on the like depend on the applicant, depend on the person, because
Mm-hmm.
that because these employment based applications are um, every case is different. So you will be I would say you should always be checking USCIS if there are any updates, because there are some updates. Actually, there was an update on EB to NIW early this year. Just I think it was in just before Biden administration left. I think it was in January.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. You should be able, yeah, you should be on track of that. It's not easy, but maybe you should just consult an immigration attorney just to see which one is the best option for you, and how can you prepare your case for that option. What you need to do. So I would say that is good. And the second thing I should mention is that you should have a backup options. Like for example, um, a lot of applicants who has a good strong case for NIWs, right? EB2 NIW, they do have a case for EB1A2, but they
Mm-hmm.
just need to add some more, just emphasize one of the things, one of the projects, or get one more maybe degree or something. Like if they are on H-1B, they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
So that is very specific to situation and also to person. But I'm just saying, like you need to have a backup plan, and you need to discuss this or research this with that plan in mind, I would say.
All
Yeah.
right. Thank you. That was really helpful. To our amazing audience, thank you for joining us. Whether you're tuning in from Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, we're thrilled to have you here. We're immigrationquestion.com, a two-in-one platform built with lead and case management to help simplify the immigration process. You can ask your immigration questions for free in any language and get connected with a verified attorney for guidance. You may also receive a free confidential initial consultation. Just visit www.immigrationquestion.com and sign up today. Now, Attorney Caglar, as a platform that connects documented and undocumented immigrants with trusted lawyers such as yourself, what are your thoughts about how immigrationquestion.com supports the immigrant community today?
Thank you. I think this is a great platform to inform the immigrants on the newest updates in immigration law to prepare them for the immigration cases. And yeah, and thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you for that. We'd love to hear that. It's almost time for our favorite part of the show, the Q&A. But before we open the floor for the Q&A, just one last question. What's one thing you wish more immigrants knew about starting their H-1B to green card journey? Something they that could save them time or stress in the long run.
Okay, that's a great question. I would say um, if you're selected for H-1B, congratulations, you're lucky. This is a great opportunity for you to stay in the United States and to pursue your career here. And please plan your green card options while you have that visa.
Thank you. That was amazing. To our audience, the floor is now open. Drop your questions in the chat and we'll answer as many as possible. If you'd like to call us live or ask directly, dial 516-703-3483. So, first question is my perm got audited, so how long can I stay on H-1B if the audit drags into my sixth year?
So okay, my perm got out of this. So how long can? Okay, you can stay as long as your H-1B visa is valid, and if you are able to apply before your visa expires to uh, employment-based green card, you will be able to stay here while that green card application is pending.
Okay.
So you have to pass the perm audit and then apply for green card. And then while that is pending, you will be able to keep your status, and that you have to focus on that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Next question is I have an approved EB3 green card petition and an H-1B visa. Can I keep my green card priority date and still extend my H-1B?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can keep your green card priority date. There are two separate applications and still extend your H-1B. But my suggestion would be, of course, I don't know every detail of your case, but my suggestion would be is that you should be planning to start your EB green card application.
Okay. Thank you. Next question is I have H-1B and then I married a US citizen. Should I do adjustment of status instead of EB?
Okay, again, if you're married to a citizen, that is the easiest way to get a green card. Congratulations, first of all, congratulations on your marriage, and I think you should adjust your status based on marriage. It will be much easier and faster.
Okay. All right. Next question is the priority date of my H-1B visa has retrogressed again. Should I extend it for more than 6 years or change to another status?
Um, that depends on the specifics of the case and what you want to do, and it's hard to answer. But I would say you should focus on maintaining your status here. That should be your focus. So whatever you do, whatever you choose to do, try to, I mean, not try to, you have to have a valid status here, which route you go. And I would say extending the uh, if you cannot extend, you have to change, of course. But if you can extend, you can extend your H-1B and stay and work. If not, change your status, but never be out of status. Never be. You have to maintain your valid status to be able to, in the future, to be able to apply for any other green card.
All right, thank you. Next question is, my perm was denied. Should I refile under EB2 or try for national interest waiver?
Um, okay. So I don't know why your permit was denied. That is important for this question. Um, you can refile under EB2 if you can fix that denial reason. Why it was denied, I don't know. But I think you should address that with your attorney. And if you can fix that, why it was denied, I don't know. But if you can again refile EB2. You can do that. For the national interest waiver, I don't know if I think that if you qualify for that, it's a great way to get a green card. So again, you should discuss that with your attorney. There's a lot of, I need more information for this question.
Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
That's understandable. Right. What if I leave the US to my country during consular processing? Will it cancel my H-1B interview?
No, no. If you leave the United States, so during consulate processing, that means that you do have a visa interview and at the consulate. If I understand correctly, then you can leave. That if you're in the United States, that means you do have a valid status here. So depending on that status, you should focus on that status. If you're here on H-1B, if it is not expired, if it's still valid, you can travel without any issues. But you should plan accordingly. How long you're going to stay out of the country, and you should plan your travels accordingly. But that's not going to be a problem as long as you check the dates and it's not expired.
All right, that was our last question from the audience, and that was an excellent way to end the session. Thank you so much for joining us, and a special thank you to our special guest, Attorney Ibrahim Caglar, for your practical and strategic insights. We hope this webinar helped answer all of your questions. Remember, at immigrationquestion.com, you can ask your immigration questions for free and get connected with a licensed attorney in good standing who can help you better understand your options. You may also qualify for a free confidential initial consultation. Just visit our website to learn more. Don't forget you can rewatch this session or listen to the previous episodes on Spotify. Just search for Borderless Talk by immigrationquestion.com. Join us again on Friday for another interesting conversation around immigration. Trust us, you won't want to miss it. Once again, thank you, Attorney Kagler, and we look forward to having you back soon. Thank
Thank you
you.
for having me.